At the BRICS Business Forum on October 18th, Putin made it clear that the bloc not only plans to dethrone the dollar, but to completely rewrite the rules of the financial game. No more sanctions or pressure from the West. And for this, the new BRICS Pay payment system appears as one of the cards that could destroy the hegemony of the dollar and give the BRICS total control of global trade. With the BRICS summit just around the corner, which will take place from October 22nd to 24 in Kazan, Russia, Putin has already announced that the plan is ambitious: to finally remove the BRICS from the orbit of the dollar and American sanctions. But what is most disturbing is the speed at which this change is happening. BRICS Pay is already operational, with successful tests in the middle of the forum showing how the system, supported by advanced technologies such as blockchain, will allow the countries of the bloc to trade without touching a single dollar, and the demonstration of the system in full operation will be shown later in this video. We are only at the beginning of very profound changes. As the United States watches helplessly, the BRICS Pay system will not only eliminate dependence on the dollar, but will open the door to a common digital currency that could forever end the dominance of Western financial institutions. The group seeks a world where US sanctions no longer apply, where oil is traded without the need to convert currencies into dollars, and where emerging economies such as China, Russia, and Brazil dictate the rules of the game. We are on the threshold of a new geopolitical and financial era, where the dollar, the currency that has dominated for decades, could be replaced by a payment network that puts the BRICS in control of global trade. Can you imagine the impact this will have on the world economy? If you think the end of the dollar as a reserve currency is a fantasy, this video will show you that we are much closer to that reality than you think. Don't go away, stay tuned, because what is coming will change the world as we know it, and we must be prepared.
Putin's plan to dominate global trade.
If anything was clear during the BRICS Business Forum, it was Vladimir Putin's determination to consolidate the power of the bloc and position it as the main driver of global economic growth. The Kazan summit promises to unveil even bigger plans aimed at consolidating the group's dominance in global trade, with strategic alliances between emerging powers and a focus on breaking with US hegemony. Putin, in his speech to thousands of businessmen and international leaders, made it clear that the BRICS are ready to leave behind the old economic order imposed by the West and build a system based on cooperation among emerging economies. The Russian president highlighted the bloc's rapid growth and how, in terms of GDP, it has already surpassed the G7. He also stressed the importance of economic independence and financial sovereignty to avoid sanctions and exclusionary policies that the United States has imposed in the past. But so you can see for yourself, we'll leave you with the most important part of Vladimir Putin's message, and then we'll show you BRICS Pay in full operation.
Message from President Vladimir Putin at the BRICS Forum.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, I am truly happy to welcome you all here at the BRICS Business Forum. Participation in it is very high profile. The main business representatives from all BRICS states are present here. Their companies have been cooperating for a long time and successfully with each other, implementing key joint projects in various sectors: industry, energy, transport, infrastructure, agriculture, and digital economy. I would like to specifically note that the current forum also brought together businessmen from those countries that have become full members of the BRICS. Since January 1st, I am referring to our colleagues and friends from Saudi Arabia, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the United Arab Emirates. I would like to emphasize that Russia, as the current chairman of the BRICS, is doing everything possible to help integrate the new members into all cooperation mechanisms. And we see that the Business Council has welcomed entrepreneurs from the new member states, and they have actively joined in. The general motto of the Russian presidency is to strengthen multilateralism for fair global development and security. A significant action plan is being implemented that seeks to promote partnership on 3 pillars: politics and security, economy and finance, culture and people-to-people contacts. So far, the plan has been fulfilled to over 80%. More than 200 events, meetings, conferences, sectoral sessions have been held, and most of the expert and ministerial meetings have already taken place, but the BRICS summit will undoubtedly be the central event. The meeting of the leaders in Kazan begins next week in the Russian city, and it is symbolic that the meeting of the leaders in Kazan is preceded by this business forum of your group. We therefore emphasize the importance of the close economic partnership of your countries in order to advance trade and investment and to deepen ties of cooperation. The joint efforts of the BRICS to accelerate social and economic growth and ensure sustainable development produce specific and tangible results. It helps in practice to improve the prosperity and living standards of ordinary citizens of our countries, and the numbers speak for themselves. I am sure you are familiar with these figures, but let me say a few words about them. the total gross domestic product of the BRICS countries amounts to more than $60 trillion, and their overall share in world GDP far exceeds the corresponding indicator of the so-called Group of 7 countries and continues to grow. As I mentioned publicly in meetings with your Russian colleagues, I would like to emphasize again here in this room and with your participation that in 1992, the Group of 7 accounted for 45.5% of the world's GDP, and in the same year, the BRICS countries accounted for 16.7%, whereas now, in 2023, our group accounts for 38.3%, and the Group of 7 accounts for 29.3%. The gap is widening and will continue to widen. It is inevitable, and it is a completely clear dynamic of the past decades. Moreover, more than 40% of the world's GDP growth is accounted for by the BRICS countries. This year, the average economic growth rate of the BRICS is estimated at 4%, which is higher than the growth rate of the G7 countries, which is 1.7%, and also the global growth rate, which will be 3.2%. These are the estimates. The BRICS countries account for a quarter of global goods exports. At the same time, companies from the BRICS countries dominate many key markets, including energy, metals, and food. In short, the BRICS already play a prominent role in the global economy today, and this role will increase threefold in the future. The BRICS countries are, in fact, drivers of global growth, and it will be the BRICS that will generate the main GDP growth in the near future. Relevant development platforms are emerging within the BRICS, including communication channels, technological and educational standards, financial systems, payment instruments, and, of course, long-term sustainable investment mechanisms. In other words, the economic growth of BRICS members will become less and less dependent on external influences and interference. This is essentially economic sovereignty in partnership with self-sufficient economies, which will multiply their potential and open up new opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, Russia is open to mutually beneficial business cooperation. We are trying to create a competitive, friendly, and global environment for local and foreign businesses in order to attract capital and technologies, primarily in cooperation with you. Let me stress once again that our shared efforts must focus primarily on developing and strengthening our own platforms that enable economic growth. I am talking about technological solutions, financial and investment mechanisms, as well as broader logistics and so on. I am sure that the implementation of the potential of the BRICS, based in particular on the high population and vast resources, will bring maximum benefit to our countries, our businesses, and all our citizens. In conclusion, I would like to wish the participants of the Business Council fruitful deliberations, successful work, and all the best.
Demonstration of the BRICS Pay payment system.
One of the most anticipated announcements of the forum was the presentation of the new BRICS payment system, BRICS Pay. During the conference, a demonstration was held of how this revolutionary system works, designed to facilitate transactions without the intervention of Western banks or the use of the dollar. The system uses blockchain technology to ensure fast and secure transactions, eliminating intermediaries and reducing costs. Below, we show you a video created by BRICS where they have shown BRICS Pay in full operation. As you can see, this is an official example provided by BRICS Pay on how to activate your account. The process starts by entering your phone number, then verifying, and if you prefer, you can activate facial recognition as an additional option. Once you complete these steps, your account will be fully operational. Then simply link your card through the app, and you're ready to make payments. Basically, you select the card you want to use and then scan the QR code to complete the payment. It also offers you the option to review your transaction history, which is a very useful and convenient feature. In addition, it will give you the option to generate a QR code that you can use to make payments in any store. As you can see, the process is extremely simple and has a very intuitive and easy-to-use interface for users. In practice, BRICS Pay allows members of the bloc to make cross-border payments in their own currencies. During the forum, participants tested the BRICS Pay card preloaded with 500 rubles and were able to make purchases in selected stores using QR codes. This is just a small part of the BRICS' ambitious plan to implement a decentralized payment system completely independent of the West. Blockchain technology, on which BRICS Pay is based, is key to this new system. By enabling secure transactions without intermediaries, it gives BRICS nations full control over their international trade and transactions.
We create these reports on economics, finance, and other current topics to offer you a perspective that reinforces your analysis. Give the video a like if this information is useful to you. It is the only way to know that our work provides you with the value we want to give you. And you can support us by subscribing to the channel for free, comment on the video and share your opinion in the comments. Something so small for you is very valuable for the channel. We create these reports on economics, finance, and other current topics to offer you a perspective that reinforces your analysis. Give the video a like if this information is useful to you. It is the only way to know that our work provides you with the value we want to give you. And you can support us by subscribing to the channel for free, comment on the video and share your opinion in the comments. Something so small for you is very valuable for the channel.